Why do we overthink at night but feel fine in the morning? Have you ever noticed that the biggest problems in your life somehow feel manageable after a good night's sleep? Well, here's the wild part. The problem didn't actually change. You did. And there's some genuinely fascinating psychology behind why nighttime is basically your brain's anxiety amplifier. So what's actually happening when you're lying in bed at 2 a.m. replaying that awkward thing you said 3 weeks ago? Why does your brain suddenly decide that's the perfect time to solve every unsolved problem in your life? The first thing to understand is that your brain runs on a schedule. When the sun goes down, your body produces more melatonin, which makes you sleepy. But here's where it gets interesting. As you're trying to fall asleep, your rational brain is literally powering down. The prefrontal cortex, that's the part of your brain responsible for logical thinking and problem solving, it's basically clocking out for the night. At the exact same time, your limbic system, which is your emotional center, is actually becoming more active. So you're left with emotions running the show while logic is backstage. That's not a recipe for rational thinking, that's a recipe for spiraling. Add to that the fact that nighttime is quiet. There are fewer distractions, no notifications pinging, no one asking you for anything. Your brain suddenly has all this empty space, and it fills that space with every worry you've been pushing aside all day. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect of silence. When everything around you is calm, your internal noise becomes deafening. Here's something else that matters. During the day, you have what's called an external locus of control. Basically, you're focused on the world around you. You're solving problems, you're engaging with people, you're busy. But at night, everything flips. Your attention turns inward, you become hyper-aware of your own thoughts. And here's the trap. When you're paying close attention to anxious thoughts, they feel more real and more important than they actually are. A small worry about work becomes a full-blown catastrophe in your mind. The fourth piece is about emotional regulation. During the day, you're literally better at managing your emotions. Your cortisol levels, that's your stress hormone, they're higher during daylight. Yes, that sounds backwards, but it's actually helpful. Cortisol gives you focus and energy. It helps you push through problems, but at night, your cortisol drops. Your emotional defenses are down. The same thought that you could brush off at noon suddenly feels overwhelming at midnight. And then there's sleep deprivation itself, which creates this vicious cycle. The longer you're awake, the worse your ability to think clearly becomes. Studies show that sleep-deprived people have diminished activity in their prefrontal cortex. You literally lose access to the part of your brain that could help you realize this probably isn't as bad as it feels right now. So here's what happens in the morning. You wake up, and that rational brain comes back online. Daylight increases your cortisol. You're distracted by the world around you again, and suddenly, that catastrophe from last night, it looks manageable. It might even look kind of silly. The problem didn't change. Your brain's ability to process it changed. The key insight here is this. Your brain isn't lying to you at night, but it's not telling you the whole truth either. It's giving you an emotional truth without the logical context. It's like reading only the scary parts of a story while ignoring the ending. So what do you actually do with this? Here's something simple you can try tonight. When you catch yourself spiraling at night, remind yourself of this one thing. You are not thinking clearly right now, and that's not a personal failure. It's just biology. Sometimes, just naming what's happening, my cortisol is low, my rational brain is offline, this is my limbic system running the show, can create enough distance between you and the thought that it loses its grip. You might not solve the problem tonight, and that's actually fine. Your brain will be much better equipped to handle it after sunrise. Trust that. Trust the morning version of yourself. They usually know better.